Hello, beach friends. I hope everyone is looking forward to a really great 2021, and I'll be here each week bringing you to the beach. Today we're headed over to Lover's Key to see what kind of goodies are on the beach for us. But before we do that, we're going to get a sneak peek inside the brand new Welcome and Discovery Center. The center is not open to the public yet, so we're going to get a behind the scenes peek at this new building over at Lover's Key State Park. Lover's Key State Park is an absolutely gorgeous beach, and in addition to making videos that I share with you, I like to take pictures like these and post them on my social media accounts. I caught the attention of someone from the Friends of Lover's Key, which is a 501c nonprofit organization that supports the mission of Lover's Key State Park, and I was invited to take a tour of the new Welcome and Discovery Center. And how could I say no? This is the first building to be constructed in a Florida state park in the last 20 years. So this is some pretty exciting stuff. Under the building, there will be outdoor classrooms complete with a touch tank with plenty of room for furniture, and the concrete pilings were also designed to serve as seating as well as mimic the roots of our ever-present mangrove trees, which I thought was pretty cool. There's also going to be a large manatee statue that will be placed prominently on ground level that will be surrounded by the winding entrance stairway. Upstairs, there will be two main areas, but let's start with the exhibit hall, which will have a reception area designed to look like an old Florida fishing shack, as well as state-of-the-art exhibit areas representing the ecosystems and areas within Lover's Key State Park. Education is a huge part of conservation, and the more we learn, the more we can help the environment and the critters who live there. Across the hall upstairs is the other main area, the community room. This was designed to be a flexible area that will act as an exhibition space, a meeting room, an indoor classroom, or host events and lectures. The glass doors can open to enlarge the area, and it comes complete with a state-of-the-art audio and visual presentation system. This new center will be a short walk from the main parking area, and it's going to be an amazing addition to an already amazing state park. The grand opening of the Welcome and Discovery Center is still a few months away, and I'll put a link in the video description box below if you want to follow progress or plan your next trip here to Lover's Key State Park. After the tour, we headed over to the beach to see if there was any shells left for us. At this point, it's probably around 10:15 in the morning, and we usually get started quite a bit earlier, but let's go see what we can find. Now, generally speaking, as long as it's warm enough, the first thing I do is head straight for the water, because it, just for me anyway, kind of gives me an indication on what kind of couple of hours I'm going to have. So I do see some things on the beach, so we're definitely going to find some things. Like this seed pearl, which I'm pretty sure what this guy is called. It's just some sort of seed, kind of neat. Here we have a juvenile Florida fighting conch. He's a little worse for wear, but still a shell. All right, this is a lightning whelk egg casing. So assuming there was little viable critters in there, there were just little teeny tiny whelks in there. That's also known as a mermaid's necklace. And this is a button snail. His color has kind of gone away, but his shape is still there. He's kind of a neat looking guy. So I'm kind of hustling at this point, covering as much beach as I can in order to increase my chances of finding as much goodies as I can. All right, here we have a horseshoe crab. I don't know if this is male or female. He is deceased. He is no longer with us. He's a little guy. The males are smaller than the females in a general sense, but I still don't know. I don't know if that's an immature female or if that's a small guy, but my husband wanted him, so we're gonna take him home. All right, this is something that's kind of neat you find on the beach now and then. Does that look like any particular shape to you? Does it look familiar at all? That's actually from a saltwater catfish, and they call that a crucifix, from a crucifix fish. It's just a saltwater catfish, but it does look like a crucifix. And here we just have a random coconut sitting on the beach. And an olive. Probably not glossy and pretty, but an olive nonetheless. Go ahead and keep that guy. And piece of a shark eye. Womp womp. Oh well. What else we got? All right, little worm snail. Those Florida worm snails. Oh, here's a shark eye. And oh, somebody drilled a hole in him, which it could have been. The moon snails will drill holes in other moon snails and eat them. So when you see a little hole and I talk about snacking, that's what I'm talking about. Something drilled a hole into that critter and ate it. Here's another worm snail. I like those guys. That's a Fargo worm snail. Because it's more symmetrical, but still just kind of neat. And another. He's a little more wild on the bottom there. It's still kind of a cool little shell. Cool little trinket. So this is the beach of Lovers Key State Park, and it's pretty awesome. I don't know what else to tell you other than it truly is absolutely beautiful because it is a state park. You have 0 condos, 0 hotels. It is just you and the beauty of Florida. So I highly recommend you go. And sometimes you'll find little stuff like this, just a piece of a sand dollar, but they are here. And we got ourselves a little scallop. All right. He's in pretty decent shape. He's kind of cool. Those little white spots on him. That's definitely a keeper. And another scallop, but he's a little broken. I'll leave him for somebody else. And another coconut. Just it's random coconut number 2 on this lovely day. All right, what else we got? Okay, Discdocenia. He's attached to his other broken half. Just kind of check him out and leave him. Oh, here we go. Here's some variable worm snail. Isn't that weird? It's kind of like this rock, really, really hard pieces. It's kind of neat. There's a bunch of it on the beach on this particular day. Hopefully we'll keep finding some goodies. What do we got? Broken lightning whelk and more of those worms rock. And okay, random coconut number 3. This must have just rolled here from one of the coconut palms. So I found a little bit of a shell pile. Let's see if we'll find anything in here. Mostly bivalves. Yeah. I mean, there's here, I'm sure if I got really down there, there is stuff to go through and look at, but I'm kind of doing a little bit of a drive-by. Here we have a buttercup lucine. Isn't that pretty? He's kind of cool. And here we have just another shot of Lovers Key. It almost looks like this surf is pushing shells up on the beach. I guess we shall see. But at least it's not completely wiped clean. That's kind of a dismal sign, huh? All right, got ourselves another scallop. Looks to me like a bay scallop. Oh, they've got cool ridges. That's a pretty shell. And another bay scallop. He's missing a little bit of his color, but he's still a fine shell. Okay, here we have the skeleton of a sea whip. Sea whips are actually soft coral, and they don't need to live where they can reach sunlight, so these guys usually live a little bit deeper in the water. I thought that was kind of cool. And a calico scallop. This guy's kind of cool. I'm bummed it's broken, but this is a channeled duck clam, also known as a sailor's ear. I've started paying more attention to those guys. I wish it wasn't broken, but I'm sure I'll find another one at some point. We'll add that to our repertoire. Here we have a spiny jewel box. He's actually pretty spiny. So that is definitely a keeper. And this is another example of a spiny jewel box, but he's just kind of bumpy. All his spines have been worn down. Same shell though, drives me crazy. You find two shells, same thing, and they look totally different. All right, so here we have some beach glass. You guys, I've been asked many a time about beach glass. It's just garbage. I never find anything good. That's another lightning whelk egg casing, but as far as beach glass, it's just junk. That lady brought her bird to the beach for a walk. I thought it was awesome. That's what was in that little carrying case. And then we just have a piece of coral. He's a pretty good hunk. I thought that was kind of cool. And a scallop, little calico scallop. Now this big old hunk is also coral, just like that other piece I found. And just because it was just kind of this big old hunk of coral, I decided, yep, I definitely got to keep that. So good thing I didn't find a whole bunch of Florida fighting conchs at this point because they're heavy. So that guy went in my bag. Broken banded tulip. Oh well. But got this little guy. Doesn't it look like a bittersweet? It's not. It's a scallop. But it kind of looked like one of those clams. Another little calico scallop. Oh, he's pretty. And another broken tulip. Womp womp. But we'll take a peek at this Florida fighting conch. He's a little chewed up, a little beat up, so we'll leave him because they're heavy. They are. It's worth it for a pretty one, but like this guy, he's just a juvenile, but he's pretty. Keep that fine shell. All right, what do I see rolling around? Looks like I got myself an olive. I'm checking to see if it's glossy or not. And what did I get? I didn't see it. I guess I didn't get it. Okay, another olive. Can I check just to make sure? It could be a golden one. Never know. All right, what else we got? Look, I scored myself an alphabet cone. All right, he's not pristine. He's chipped a little. Looks like he had to repair himself a little bit, but he's still a cone. Woohoo! All right, I'm going for the grab method. Got myself a broken lightning whelk. Ah. But I got this fabulous lettered olive with a shell jammed in it, so that's a twofer. And here's a giant Atlantic cockle, but he's just a little guy still. He's not quite giant yet, and he is alive, so we'll just take a peek, put him back to become giant. And, aw, man, half a lightning whelk. All right, here's a little beat up apple murex. All right, he's a little bit more than beat up, but still an apple murex. On a day like today, I'm going to keep it. And look at this Florida cone. Woohoo! It's got a little bit of color. That's a pretty good find. And a juvenile Florida fighting conch. And another one that's kind of beat up. Too bad that wasn't albino. I'm still looking for that albino Florida fighting conch, but not yet. So here's another little peek at the beach. Also a good time for me to remind you, if you haven't subscribed yet, I do recommend you do it because I bring you to the beach every week. I don't get to show you a cool tour like today every week, but I will get you to the beach. Here we have a little nutmeg. It's a sweet little guy. Here we have a sunray Venus and a scallop, bay scallop, but he's got a big old chip in it. Womp womp, we'll leave him. But we'll look at this guy. All right, he's kind of neat because he's got that pinkish and like tan color going on. It's relatively clean. I'm gonna keep that guy. The water was really clear. It's too bad there was not more shells in it. Ugh. Okay. Here is a broad-ribbed cardita. They are also very hardy shells. You don't usually see these guys broken. You will see them with their color washed out, but usually not broken. They're pretty hardy. Here we have another calico scallop of the purple variety. It's kind of cool. What else we got? Another broad rib cardita. See how the color's gone, but he was still intact. What else are we gonna find? Another spiny jewel box? I'm gonna go with no. Well, we found it, but we're just not gonna keep it. Look. What? Yep. I didn't want a shot with that black thing in it. Look at this flat. How awesome is that? I was so happy. It's not broken, it's intact. Isn't that beautiful? Yay. And followed up by this cone that has been beaten up, has been eaten by, it looks like a boring worm or a sponge or something got at that. And then I spied something else I figured I'd come take a look, and it's another Discosenia. It looks like I'm gonna keep about half because that other piece is broken. Oh, these guys I really like. All right, it's just a southern quahog, but we had talked about this, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, when these shells are buried in sand that doesn't have a lot of oxygen, the iron that's in the shell turns into iron sulfide and makes it blue and makes them pretty. So that makes them special to me, and I'm definitely keeping that guy. I got my own little collection of those blue dyed shells going. Here we are, we've made it all the way up to the end, and here's another pass, and it looked like there was this tugboat pushing along, I don't know, a barge. Don't quiz me on my ship knowledge because it is quite lacking compared to my shell knowledge, but I just thought it was kind of cool seeing this little boat really kind of hoofing it to get that other big thing through the channel. And here we have a Florida fighting conch that looks like it probably encountered a boring sponge at some point. The boring sponges create holes. They're less than 1/4 of an inch in diameter in limestone oysters and shells of mollusks. The sponges help recycle calcium for other critters to use, so yay, sponges. Here we have another beat up lettered olive. Oh, my husband put this little collection together for us. Here's some shark eyes, which is kind of cool, and some worm snails, a piece of an apple murex and a lace murex. And we got some other, got an apple murex, a couple worm snails, a jingle, a couple olives, a broken tulip. Yeah, I couldn't find a whole tulip too. And one of those little nutmegs. So I thought that was kind of a lovely little display. And this is what that tree looked like. It's really pretty. I know it's dead, but what the water and the wind does to it just makes it so pretty. So if you get there, this is all the way on the south end of the island. And I mentioned in the past, I've been here, it wasn't quite this choppy, but the water was this ridiculous turquoise color. And I said I was gonna go snorkeling. Well, now that I've been here a little while in Florida, snorkeling in some sort of channel is probably not the safest thing to do. So I'm gonna retract that snorkeling statement. I'm gonna go ahead and snorkel somewhere a little bit safer. But this is what the south end of the island looked like today. Little choppy, little windy. Probably would be pretty tough to kayak out there. It is an active ocean day. And here I was trying to get a shot at the periwinkles. Now in the middle, see that? That yellow, it's kind of fuzzy, I couldn't get it in focus. But I was hoping to see them. I found them, but they were like buried. I couldn't really get a good shot of them to show you guys. And I've never found one of these the shells either yet, so hopefully one day. Let me find this lightning walk. Yeah, he's got a big old chunk missing and a hole, so we were tricked. I'll just go ahead and leave it to trick somebody else, I guess. All right, now this, I was like, what the heck is this? Because it doesn't look like the variable worm snails. It's all straight, but it's hard as a rock. It's the same color. So I didn't know what was going on with this chunk. And a broken olive, which is too bad because he had his point. Oh well. And, okay, another one of those worm snails. Good worm snail day. He's got a little bit of color at least. Kind of cool. Looks like an elf's hat. It's that time of year. And barely half of a moon snail. Oh well, a shark eye. Womp womp. All right, what else we see? More of that snail rock. A whole bunch of it actually. And yeah, a little lightning whelk. Oh, he's pretty. He's kind of like got that yellow hue going on. He's a pretty little guy. And another, yeah, it's a lightning whelk because it's open on the left, so you know it's a lightning whelk, but he's really beat up. I'm just gonna leave it. And another one. Okay, I think that's a little bit more viable though. Found a couple things. And juvenile Florida fighting conch. Another juvenile Florida fighting conch. And another. And that is a lightning whelk, but he is just tiny and not quite intact. And a cone. All right, really beat up though, so I'm gonna leave that guy. We got a little scallop. And okay, yeah, there's another bay scallop, but it looks like he's kind of been ovaled off. I don't know how else to describe that, but we'll leave him. This guy, I tried to figure out what it was. I couldn't. I looked in both my shell books. I don't know the name of it, so I can't look it up on the Sanibel Museum website. So if anybody knows what that guy is, if you'd let me know, drop me a comment. I'd appreciate it because I thought it was kind of cool. Here we have another scallop. That at least know what it is. It's a bay scallop. I think maybe it's calico. I'm going to go with bay. And another button snail. Most of it anyway. Well, about half. Half of a button snail. Okay, so then after all this worm snail rock I was finding, I found this which had both the straight and the curly guys. I'm like, okay, what I had found before was the variable worm snail, which is kind of cool, and they let their surroundings dictate their worm-like structure. So that explains why there are different shapes sometimes. And here is a lightning whelk. Another beat up shark guy. Oh well. Aww. Wonder what got at that guy. All the stories they could tell. And we have another bay scallop. That's too bad. He's a little chipped, a little beat up. We'll just leave him for somebody else. I took one last, you sure? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. All right, here we have a crown conch and an apple murex. These guys have probably been buried because they look like they're all devoid of that color. And this guy kind of looks cool on the inside. That's what they look like. It's kind of neat. Don't find them over here all that often. And then this guy, I didn't keep him. And for the first time ever, you're going to hear me talk on the beach. Oh, he's so stinky. Ugh. Oh, yeah, he smelled bad. The first time that's ever happened, but I was not taking that home. Hello, birds. We have some terns. I think those, oh, the skimmers. I've been dying to get a shot of the skimmers actually skimming the water. I will get there one of these days. Hi, guys. And then that is the tram that will take you to and fro the parking lot. So if you didn't feel like walking, it's not a long walk, but if you didn't feel like walking, you don't have to. You can take a little tram. And then back in the distance there, you can rent your umbrellas and your chairs. So this park has it all. It really does. It's got beach, it's got bike trails, it's got walking trails. You can rent kayaks. I'm gonna tell you about that in a minute. But it has it all. It's thoroughly worth a visit. All right, so we're making our way off the beach, and here we are, we're passing that tram that will conveniently drop you off a little bit closer. We usually don't take the trams, we usually walk. So, couldn't tell you much about the tram experience, but bet you it's a lot quicker than walking. And if you happen to be here thinking, wow, wouldn't it be cool to rent a kayak? Well, you're in luck because they do have kayak rentals here. Actually, they have a whole bunch of stuff. There isn't all that much. I mean, like you can rent a bike, you can rent a kayak, and it kind of here, it goes through all the different prices for half a day, one person, two people, and then it also gives you the prices for the chairs and the umbrellas. So everything you need was there, including all these fabulous little goodies we got to find today. The worm snail, the horseshoe crab, that hunk of coral, all that variable worm snails, which were kind of cool. A couple of the scallops, jewel box, a couple nutmegs, a couple olives, and of course the cones and the flat. All right, that flat probably won. So I had so much fun checking out the building, going shelling, just hanging out on Lover's Key. It's not to be missed. Truly, truly awesome place. Thank you as always for watching. Thank you for your support. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. And guys, I'll see you again next Sunday.